Officer.
Well, as you know, tomorrow is primary election day.
And Middle Tennessee is one state Senate seat up for re-election, District 17, which represents Wilson County and part of Davidson County.
In the State House of Representatives, 12 districts will be on the ballot. Party frontrunners for multiple federal races could also be decided tomorrow, including for governor.
For months now, U.S. Senator Marsha Blackburn looked unbeatable in the Republican primary for governor.
Right. So late polls, though, are suggesting the race has tightened. So the big question tomorrow is, where will the deciding votes come from?
Investigative reporter Stacey Cameron crunched the early voting numbers for us. You found one critical region stands out.
Well, that's right. This race is truly going to be a squeaker. The biggest clue isn't how many people voted, it's where they voted. A late poll shows Blackburn's lead over Congressman John Rose has slimmed to just 3.5 points. And to see where the momentum is, I compared this year's early vote to 2018, the last open race for governor. At first glance, little has changed. Statewide, Republicans only cast about 1,400 fewer early votes than in 2018, but zoom in, and Middle Tennessee looks vastly different. GOP early voting is booming here. Williamson County added over 5,400 voters compared to 2018. Montgomery is up by 2,100, and Sumner added 1,700 Republican voters. Meanwhile, turnout fell in Davidson, Murray, and Wilson counties. The takeaway, the GOP electorate here in Tennessee isn't growing, it's shifting to our backyard. And if this race comes down to the wire, Middle Tennessee will decide it. Any of these candidates, Blackburn, Rose, or State Representative Monty Friends, win, it's who can run up the score in Williamson, Montgomery, and Sumner County that will likely decide who wins it. That suburban wave, can they get those votes? That will take them possibly to the nomination. For WSMV4, I'm investigative reporter Stacey Cameron.